Yeah, one of the first things that I talk about in my Shakespeare class is why do we do Shakespeare? Why are there Shakespeare festivals all over the world? And why is Shakespeare being done constantly and not Ben Jonson? Why don't we have Ben Jonson? Yes, Dave.
I just wanted to add to the question. By people who don't have to for a school assignment.
Correct. People pay a lot of money to come see us dress in funny clothes and speak equally as funny. Never mind the utterly improper English there. But there, you know, we don't have Beaumont and Fletcher festivals. We don't have Christopher Marlowe. Every once in a while we'll do a Christopher Marlowe play, but not too often. You know, we don't want to stray away too far from Shakespeare. And if you get a chance to read any of the big, like I think the two most probably famous plays of English Renaissance theater are The Spanish Tragedy, which is a play about a guy who's visited by a ghost who tells him to take revenge, and so he decides to take revenge by creating a play to entrap someone, and ends up, and you go, well, gee, that's sort of Hamlet, isn't it? It's the same exact story, right? But the difference is that really, up until Shakespeare, characters didn't develop. They didn't really develop. Things happened to them. Oedipus finds out that he is in the wrong place at the wrong time and is, you know, having relations with his mom.
So you don't know the story.
But they don't develop the way that people do after Shakespeare. Because these characters, and Hamlet especially, overhears himself speaking and starts to develop because he has realizations that didn't really occur. So you have a lot of people who say that that the big interesting thing about Shakespeare and his characters is that it's the first time you see real human personality on stage. And because of the way Shakespeare writes, Freud studies that. I mean, Freud didn't come up with psychoanalysis out of nowhere. Shakespeare, he studied Hamlet, you know, and that's where we get our ideas about modern personality. It's sort of, in a way, I'm always telling my students that if it seems like Shakespeare is everywhere all the time, it's because in a way he kind of created Western, our way of thinking about personality and about humans. You know, there's a book by Harold Bloom called The Invention of the Human, which is about Shakespeare and about Hamlet. So it's kind of hard to escape him. You know, the second most cited figure in Western culture behind Jesus is Hamlet. That's pretty good, you know, for an imaginary character. So I agree with you that I think it's a genius play too, and I think it's probably the best example of what we have. As I always say, like if we have a spaceship and we have to shoot stuff off to an alien planet to go, here's the 3 best things we've done, Hamlet's got to be in there, right? So the Bible, Hamlet, and I don't know, Batman. That's my personal feeling. But I really do think that's true. There's something completely unique and special about this play, especially. There's something really fascinating about it, and it doesn't seem when you read it at first to be a universal play, right? It's Danish, and there's a ghost walking around, and somebody's sleeping with somebody else's mother, and you go, hey, we can all relate to this, right? It's just like, this is like a Tuesday. It's so not. But there's something about the way that Shakespeare writes it, and the development of character, not just Hamlet, but everybody in that play. That there's that feeling of loss, and especially the individual feeling stuck in this world that's not right. Yeah, the very first thing that happens when we see the play open up is 2 guys who know each other well encounter each other, and the first guy says, "Who's there?" And the other guy says, "Nay, stand and unfold yourself. Answer me. You answer me, pal." Right? These are like really good friends who know each other well and don't recognize one another. Yeah, something's already rotten in the state of Denmark. There's already a big problem. And so we can see that sort of unfolding in all of the language. And Claudius coming in.